Namaste everyone, this is me, Embeded. Thank you so much respected teacher and welcome to all participants in my presentation. So I'm very sorry for the absence of my group member because he was unable to manage the time where he engaged in the school. So I would like to beg sorry from my side as he became absent in this presentation. So in this presentation I won't be talking about actually I won't teach you, but I will share what actually we did and what we have found during the time of conducting this research or accomplishing this seminar paper. So this is the personal detail that we have, me, myself, and he is Kim Bhattasetri. So I would like to take you towards the introduction and the context of our study. So the topic of our seminar paper is Embedded Ideologies of Adopting English as a Medium of Instruction in Public School of Nepal. So first of all, there are so many languages, more than 6,000 languages have been speaking in the world. The citizen in the world, they speak 6,000 languages. And in the context of Nepal, last time 131 languages have been found as the languages which are in existence in our country. But all the languages are not in position of medium of instruction. That's why some languages are dominant. And English as being one of the international languages and imperial languages, it has become the medium of instruction, and many EFL and ESL countries adopted EMI policy. So likewise, the government of Nepal provisioned EMI policy since 2014, and still some of the government schools, they are adopting English as the medium of instruction. And what medium of instruction then? So medium of instruction is the use of language to teach non-English subjects. For example, teaching social via using English. In this context, English work as one of the medium of instruction. That's why it's really problematic. Teachers granted it, teachers adopted it. Again, they said, yes, we are feeling difficulties in teaching, but they did not raise the question. They granted it as the government provision. So that we found it as the problematic, and we took it, or we contextualized it in this multilingual country where 131 languages are in existence. Why our government is provisioning this EMI policy? Why? This is the question to be raised. That's why, again, English, why we focus on ideologies, not perceptions, not attitudes. We focus on ideologies. What are the deep-rooted ideologies with the teachers in some sort of adaptation? So, because English is full of ideologies, some people say, yes, English standardize our academics. And some others say, yes, English internationalize the education system. And some others say, yes, English is the matter of social prestige, and it is also the matter of being educated. Is it real? That's why we selected this. We are motivated to conduct the research in this section. And Nepal, as well as some other countries like Rwanda, Ghana, Turkey, so many countries, they launched EMI policy. And what they did is that's why so many countries, they are shifting towards English medium from Nepali or whatever is there, the mother tongue. So this shift, so many research studies like the research of Fact, Fact, Pramod Saha, Norton and Early, and so many others, they provoked and they raised the issue that unplanned language policy made unsuccessful implementation. So that we are motivated. And look at here, next one is multilingual Nepal but monolingual bias. We found EMI as a monolingual bias. If it goes on, what will happen? Look at that. That's a monolingual bias. One day we can assume that one day if it is going on, then no language will be existed. Our mother tongue, our heritage, our identity will be in crisis. And the EMI policy, it is controversial with the constitution that we have. So our constitution provokes for mother tongue based education, multilingual education, yes. And let's say the language commission, the report of language commission of 1993 again provokes for this MLE and MTB, means mother tongue based education. But why again this EMI policy? the same government, Ministry of Education provision for EMI, and at the same time our constitution, stand against the use of, they say, EMI, only English, like this. That's why it's controversial, it's paradoxical. So that we selected, this topic, and we thought it is to be investigated. Similarly, the research problem, you somehow you know about why we selected this problem and what might be the problem. Look, so governmental policy and the Constitution and Language Commission's report, they all are in controversy. So that this controversy, this paradox derived us or made us to examine the situation critically. That's why we selected all this, so that we motivated towards these things. And some studies, research studies, if we study them, what we found was teachers, they are actually feeling difficulty in the implementation of here. Yes, and teachers, why we select teachers as the respondents? Why? Because teachers are the real practitioners. We may not have the knowledge about the implementation in EMI because we are not in the field. Yes, but the teachers who are teaching in EMI context, they can generalize, they can realize what are actually the scenario in the Nepal. Yes, that's why we select the teachers as our participants. And the pertinent ideologies that teachers have, they may have effect on the language policies, and they may also help to develop further language policies, etc. This is the research problem we have. And these are the objectives. The first one is to explore the beliefs and opinions of the secondary level teachers with regard to the use of English as a medium of instruction in the public school. And the second one is to dig out the challenges while using English as a medium of instruction in the public school. These two are the objectives, and this seminar paper is derived by these two objectives. Okay? And we attempted to give the result to these two objectives. Moving further, overview of the review. Actually, we reviewed these articles from home and abroad, and the articles which are conducted in Nepal and as well as some other parts like Turkey, Ghana, Rwanda, and so many countries where EMI has been implementing. So we actually reviewed these articles, and all these articles helped us to grab the insights, to take the gist, to journalize the scenario. And then some of the articles helped us why EMI has been going to in the condition of let's say the falling down, or what are the reasons of failure of this policy. So these articles we reviewed, and they gave us certain insights in terms of methodologies, yes, and then contents, and their results helped us. Their questionnaire or the tools they use, they also helped us to develop our interview guidelines or other tools. That's why these are the things we actually reviewed from the scholars that they did. So these are the review materials we reviewed. So they actually, these research were done in teachers' attitudes, lecturers' attitudes towards EMI, and then causes of failure of EMI, and then one of the articles that was about linguistic capital, because English really become a capital, because if one be able to speak English, one can survive in every part of the world, no problem, and one can compete with the product that is produced by the government, this is private school. So that these all provided us the insights and outcomes. Okay, these are other materials we reviewed. And look at the methodology. So this research paper, this seminar paper, actually we conducted qualitatively. The research design, this research method is qualitative in nature, because it is not talking about quantitative. I have not quantity. And research design, I followed narrative inquiry because I found it suitable. Why? Because narrative inquiry always grabs the lived experiences of the participants, and it helps to document them. That's why we grab their lived experiences and we documented. We accumulated them and documented. That's why the narrative inquiry has been followed. And sampling, let's say the strategy, there are a lot of sampling strategies, but we selected non-random purposive sampling. Means we selected the participants on the basis of the access that we have with them, or on the basis of the purpose we selected them. We just selected certain members from EMI context. Yes, that's why this is the sampling strategy we adopted. And target population or sample. Let's see the population. Our population is all the secondary level teachers, either the mathematics teacher, or social teacher, or science teachers, or English teacher, no matter. All the teachers are our population. And the sample population or our target population is secondary level teachers teaching in EMI context, not others. Those teachers who are teaching in EMI context, again in public school, yes, they are our participants or our sample. And we selected 4 participants and we interviewed them. And the tools for data collection and instruments is in-depth interview. We interviewed them in-depthly, and we use mobile phone and cell phone recorder as the tools to keep the record with us. So next one is data collection and analysis procedure. How we analyze the data. First of all, we developed some interview guidelines and we sent those interview guidelines to our teacher. And as he recommended, or as per his acceptance, we generated certain questions. Actually, in that interview there are no questions, but we developed one mind state what to ask them. We 2 group members, Mr. Kim and me myself, we discussed to each other, and what we did was we developed a general mindset what to ask. On the basis of this, we took consent with our participants. We took their agreements. Then after we clarified our objectives and purpose of the research work to them. And in the 5th stage, we interviewed in depth telephonically, right? We actually, we interviewed in telephonic conversation with them. Okay. Then after we recorded data, I recorded. In 7th stage, we transcribed them. And by using romanization method, like Ram Kande Aikusa, Ram Meru Saki, RAM Ram MER, like this. So we transcribed them. Then after we translated only the necessary one, not all. Whatever was necessary there, we translated that thing. And then we coded and decoded. Decoded means we give certain code to each respondent's answer. And on the basis of that thing, on the basis of their similar response, we decode them. After decoding them, what we did was we generated certain thing that can meet our objectives. Then after we critically and contextually analyze all the responses, by using schematic, which is appropriate narrative. So moving further, themes and findings. Yes. So these are the themes and findings that we brought, that we explored. The first one is teachers' ideologies on EMI. So I already talked about the ideologies that are existed in the use of English. So look, EMI as the first one is EMI as a mediating tool to internationalize the education system. Yes. So EMI, it has been functioning as a tool that can internationalize, that can link the product of one country to the product of another country. For example, the product of Embeded University, if this product be able to work in USA, then this is the internationalization, or this is the internationalization. Why we are studying the course of Oxford University? This is the way of internationalizing the education. Why we study the course of Cambridge University? This is the way of internationalization. It means the product of Nepal must be able to work in USA. Yes, this is one good way. And another is EMI for a pool of material and resources. Many respondents, almost 100% respondents, they replied, they said yes. If we search any materials that is useful in classroom teaching in YouTube or Google or somewhere else, mostly 80%, more than 80% materials we found in, the English language. Then if we cannot, understand English language, then how can we, adopt, or how can we use them in the classroom? Yes. So this is another. And third one is EMI as a hegemony to the underdeveloped country. Definitely, it's an indirect colony. It's indirect imperialism, because we have been imperializing by some powerful states in in the name of language, in the name of culture. In the past year, there was physical type of colony, physical type of imperialism, like the British colony in India. But these days, we have been imperializing by language, by culture. Yes, that's why this is third one. And fourth one is EMI standardizes academics and improve competitive capacity to meet the global job market. Yes, teachers have some sort of ideologies. Why as we asked them, they said yes. If our students learn English, if our students studies the content in English, they can compete in the global job market. They responded like this. That's why this is another ideology we found that is existed in teachers' mindset. And then another is EMI as core academic attraction for the parents and students. They responded yes, parents' aspirations and students' intention to grab the opportunity of studying English, learning English. Yes, is another reason of adopting English as a medium of instruction. These are the ideologies that we found in our research, and these all ideologies have been existing in the mindset of teacher. And the second objective was on challenges. What sort of challenges actually the teachers have been facing in government school in EMI context? Look, these three findings we have. The first one is EMI a block between teacher and students. One of the respondents replied like this: I could not be able to share the feelings and emotions that I have to my students, and again my students cannot share their feelings and emotions to me. That's why it creates a gap between them and me. So that's why we wrote this as a block between the teacher and the student, gap between the teacher and the students, because it suppressed the emotions and feelings of particularly the students and teachers. And third one is EMI as extra burden to the subject teachers beyond English. Mostly English teachers, we interviewed social teacher, mathematics teacher, science teacher, and English teacher, 4 teachers. And mostly English teachers, they were not so furious with the policy, but science teacher, mathematics teacher, social teacher, actually they responded like one of the teachers, I just remember, one of the teachers said, language is nothing but concept is important. If I ask my students, please Tribhuj ko kshetrafal nikala, they can easily derive. But if I ask them, please find the area of triangle, they may not know it. That's why language, the concept is much important than the medium. So they responded like this. So some of the teachers beyond English becomes extra burden. It works as one of the honors there. Okay. Now conclusion. So actually in conclusion we found ideologies like English is the matter of social prestige. Being educated means proficiency in English, and teachers they are equipped with ideologies like English standardizes academics. English made their students to compete in the global job market, or English, and then what they replied in the challenge is like this: English EMI actually gives the creativity and criticality of the student, because it suppresses their emotions, because it suppresses their the feelings. They cannot raise a question in the classroom even if they are in confusion. Look, this is the convention. And then monolingual bias, it is a fatal to multilingual reality. Definitely this EMI is a monolingual bias. It might be the policy of powerful states to make a monolingual word. We can assume like this. That's why what it does, it threats to multilingual reality, like our country as well, because we are living in multilingual reality. Yes. So throughout all this discussion, we raised a question in our final final draft. We raised a question. This might be this might be a research problem, another research problem. What will happen if monolingual language policy has been adopted in multilingual nation like Nepal? What will happen? What might be the causes? If it goes on, if government provision these policies and apply in all the public schools, then what will happen? How our linguistic reality, linguistic heritage can be threatened? Yeah, in what extent it is threatened? So this might be another problem. Okay, that's why this is the conclusion and implications. We derived 2 sort of implications, one for policy level and another for practice level. So in policy level, the implication here is teachers' pertinent ideologies are guidelines to the policymakers in the countries. but still disregarded. Look, so teachers' pertinent ideologies, can function or can help to those let's say the policy makers, because teachers are real practitioners. They only understand the actual scenario. That's why, but still their ideologies have been disregarded, not only by the government but also by the researchers as well. And another thing, it provoked for local educational language planning. Yes, develop local language planning. It provokes or it raises the price for this. This is the implication for policy level, and in practice level, how it is implicated. Look, so imposed EMI policy is challenging. Definitely, it's a challenge not only for the teachers but also for the community as well, because our identity has some sort of relationship with the language. That's why it's really challenging. Now, challenge for teachers to tackle, but tomorrow it will be a challenge for the community as well, in terms of their culture, in terms of their religion and other things. And multilingual classroom teaching approaches are demanded. Throughout the discussion, throughout the result, what we came to know, no, EMI cannot work to comprehend the concept. That the multilingual approaches should be there in classroom teaching. Yes? And another is, concept is much significant than language. I already talked. I also gave an example as well of the triangle, example of triangle. That the concept is important, not the language. Monolingual policy of powerful states detriments in our own heritage. Yes. So this sort of monolingual policy of English native English countries like Bana countries, Britain, USA, Canada, Australia, and others. So it may have some sort of detriment, some sort of harm in our own heritage. So we all must be aware of that. And it asks for bottom-up principle of forming and applying EMI. So while developing any, let's say the policy, what we need to do is we just, analyze from the bottom, that is the real context, real scenario. Then throughout the data we get, and once policy makers can develop the language policy. So these are the implications in practice level. So this is the time for acknowledging people. We are much involved for all these. Our respected teachers, our scholars, the respondents, and our parents. And these are the references. Actually, we consult, the ideas from them. So thank you so much for your presence. Thank you.
Thank you.